AITAH for punching my husband's ex-wife? AITAH for punching my husband's ex-wife? Original post, January 30th, 2025. My husband's ex-wife, who we will call Shelly, hates me, and I'm not a big fan of hers either. She is high conflict and has been putting my stepson in the middle of her crap since the beginning. She had him listen at our door and report back what I said. She even called CPS on me for having a medical marijuana card. Nothing came of it. She will tell anyone that will listen that I stole her family from her and I destroyed her life. My husband had been divorced from her for 8 years when I met him. I just think that backstory is important. A couple of days ago I took our daughter, 4F, to the park in our subdivision to play. As I was pushing her on the swings, I saw Shelly pull up. I immediately grabbed my daughter and started walking back home. Shelly began to follow me and started yelling insults and threats at me. I dialed 911 and told them what was going on, so we stayed on the line. She called my daughter a half-breed, I'm black, my husband is white, and continued to follow me down the street, hurling insults. I told her to leave me alone and I've called the police. That just made her more aggressive. By that point I was in front of my house and my garage door was up, so I told my daughter to go in the house and get her dad. I turn around and Shelly is running full speed towards me with her arm drawn back. I punched her dead in the throat. She fell on the ground and was gasping for air. I dropped to the ground to ask if she was okay, but she continued to try to swing at me as she gasped for air. The cops then arrived and put her in handcuffs because she started to fight them. They put us in separate areas and talked to us. She told them that I hit her first, but my husband was already outside, with the footage, ready to show the police. They asked me if I wanted to press charges and I said yes. This is where people are saying I'm wrong. We live in a small town, and people got wind of what happened. Almost everyone is saying I'm wrong because Shelly is 5 feet 4 inches and maybe 130 pounds, and I am 5 feet 10 inches and weigh about 180 pounds, and I weight lift. People are saying I should have gone easier on her, and I could have really hurt her. They have also said I've done enough and charges weren't necessary. Of course my husband, my stepson, and my family are on my side, but I've gotten some nasty messages from people in my town calling me a monster and a bully. I feel like I was just defending myself, but I want some unbiased opinions because now I feel like I might have taken it too far and I'm starting to doubt myself. AITAH? AITAH has no consensus bot. Oop was NTA. Relevant, top comments. Commenter 1, NTA. You were defending yourself against a physical threat, and your actions were reasonable given the circumstances. Shelly's behavior was unacceptable, and she escalated the situation by following you, yelling insults, and making threats. When she charged at you with her arm drawn back, you had every right to protect yourself. Superscript 1. The criticism from people in your town seems misguided, focusing on your physical size and strength rather than the facts of the situation. The fact that Shelly is smaller than you doesn't mean you should have allowed her to attack you without defending yourself. It's also important to note that Shelly's behavior has been problematic for a long time, including putting your stepson in the middle of her conflicts and making false reports to CPS. Her actions have shown a pattern of aggression and manipulation. You did the right thing by defending yourself and pressing charges. Don't let the opinions of others make you doubt your actions. You prioritized your safety and the safety of your child, and that's something to be proud of. Commenter 2, NTA. Shelly is an idiot to try to swing on someone bigger, taller and stronger than her. And why? Because you didn't react to her insults. Instead you asked her to leave you alone and then called the cops. Had you not turned around and see her running toward you, ready to hit you, she could have caused you great damage. Instead, you threw one punch to keep her away. Too bad your fist is at her throat level. She should have thought that one out before she tried to attack you. Do not doubt yourself. You defended yourself from someone who intended to do you harm. You didn't continue to waylay on her. You were not the aggressor. She stepped on your property and threatened you. And your child. The people in your town are idiots. Fight rumor with truth. Post that footage. Show the charges. You were within your rights. Period. And I defy anyone to have been in the same position who wouldn't have gotten into a defensive mode like you did. Commenter 3, NTA. It's all recorded, from the time she approached you at the park and attacked you at your home. I wonder if it's possible to charge her with a hate crime. Oop, they charged her with assault and I'm getting a restraining order. Oop should tell her husband to get full custody of his son. Oop, my SS is 18 and has lived with us since he was 8. Commenter 4, nope NTA. She came at you while you were trying to keep your child safe. And 8 years? She needs to move on. Oop, I don't think she'll ever move on. My husband is a great guy and she really did mess up. He truly loved her, but she was too toxic to accept it. Now I think she has a lot of regrets. Her aggression definitely got worse after I had my daughter because she wanted a girl. Update, January 31st, 2025. It hasn't even been 24 hours since my last post, but I feel y'all deserve an update and for me to clarify some things. Firstly, my daughter and I are okay and thank you all so much for your support. My daughter heard what was said but fortunately has no idea what it means. She also did not see any of the physical violence that occurred. Secondly, Shelly is still in jail. Luckily for us her family doesn't even like her, so no one has bailed her out. She also had a warrant, so she will probably be sitting there for a while. Next, for everyone worried about my stepson, he's just my son in our house. Thank you so much for the concern, but he is 18 years old and I have been his mother figure for the past 10 years. He knows his mom's antics and he is in therapy and he's okay. For the people that private messaged me to say I alienated my stepson from his mom, shame on you. Y'all have no idea what this kid has dealt with through the years and he's so strong. I also would like to clarify that I did press charges. I spoke to my lawyer, my aunt, and she said I actually have plenty of evidence from over the years to sue Shelly for the emotional pain she has caused me and I will be pursuing that. I'm going to make it hurt so she knows that this behavior will not be tolerated. I also am in the process of getting a restraining order which will not take long at all given all the evidence. Lastly, this whole situation has been so eye-opening about the lack of support I have living in this town. I've stayed because I thought it was best for my family, but after speaking with my husband and stepson we all realized it's best for everyone if we move and start fresh. If anyone has suggestions of diverse places to move to with a good school system for our daughter, please comment down below. I want to thank you all so much again for your help. I've felt more support from strangers on the internet than I have from the community I've lived in for years. I will continue to keep you all updated with whatever I can as I continue this process. Relevant comments. What was the reason for Oop's husband's divorce from his ex? Oop, she hit him in front of their son and fractured his eye socket. Commenter 1, make sure Shelly actually has enough assets, income to make suing her worth it. You know the old saying, you can't get blood out of a turnip. She sounds massively emotionally unregulated since she had a warrant out already. Emotionally unregulated people often can't hold jobs and really don't have money. Oop, she is a master esthetician with her own spa. She has money, even though she says she doesn't. Commenter 2, if you're willing to move to Scotland we take kick-ass moms just fine here. Other than that I can't help. But you were absolutely right in what you did and I agree, make it hurt and teach the lesson she best not come back for more. Based on Oop's background, can she relocate to any city and can find a job? Oop, I'm actually a private financial advisor so I work from home mostly. My husband is an engineer and he can get work just about anywhere.